This is a BMW 3 Series. Yeah, I know, no kidding, eh? But if you look careful enough, it's not a regular 3 Series because on the driver's side front fender, there's a charging port. Also brought back from the past is the E appended to the model number, but now it doesn't stand for economy, it stands for electric, which pretty much implies economy. You also get E-Drive badges on the C-pillars, and that is where the line is drawn as far as visual cues are concerned. And just like any other 3 Series, it is remarkably easy to identify it as a Beamer, and it does look pretty good. And just like any other 3 Series BMW, it is very well made, it's practical, and it's pretty roomy. But unlike any other 3 Series BMW, it has a whole bunch of batteries shoved underneath the trunk's floor and an electric motor squeezed in between the 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox and the 2-liter turbocharged engine. Because of the batteries, the trunk is 110 liters less, and the curb weight is about 300 pounds more. And when it comes to handling, that extra weight is definitely noticeable, but it's still not enough to ruin the driving pleasure. It still drives 100% like a Beamer, and you can still switch off the DSC fully so you can do a little bit of that thing, since this is also rear-wheel drive only. At the limit, it's very progressive, very forgiving, and a lot of fun. I mean, it still does put a smile on your face. Ride comfort is a little bit stiffer, but unless you drove it back-to-back with a 330i, you'd never really notice the difference. On the other hand, the drivetrain you'd notice immediately. The 2-liter inline 4-cylinder gas engine is turbocharged and makes 180 horsepower and 215 pound-feet of torque. But with the help of the electric motor, the combined total is 248 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. This is good enough to help it hit 100 kilometers an hour in just 6.2 seconds. So if you're thinking that this is one of them slow-ass plug-in hybrids, you're completely wrong. Performance is great, and there are 3 different e-drive modes you can use. Auto e-drive is the mode that obviously the car decides on its own when to use e-power, when to use gas power, when to use both. Max e-drive is the mode that you force it to go electric only until it runs out of juice. And save mode is perhaps the most interesting mode because you tell the car, I want to save that battery power for later because probably I'm on the highway now and later I'm going to get jammed, stuck in traffic. But the cool thing about it is as you're saving the energy, you're also recharging the batteries. So let's say a typical commute would be getting out of the city limits, stuck in traffic, you're on e-drive. Then on the highway, you go save, so you start charging up those batteries. And then when you hit the next city, you can go back on the batteries. It's pretty cool. Electric range is not amazing, but 20 to 25 kilometers is more than a useful range, especially if you live close to work or you just drive to a subway station and park there and then just take the train. Charging times are also really good. The worst possible you're looking at is 2.2 hours from empty to full, which is great. Fuel economy is great too. I average 6.4 liters per 100 kilometers stuck within the city limits. So that's pretty impressive. I don't necessarily think that this car is for somebody that's looking to buy a hybrid and was looking at, let's say, a Prius or something else and started cross-shopping with a 3 Series. I think this is more like the alternative to the already 3 Series buyer that suddenly is presented with an option to buy something that's much better on gas, eco-friendly, and quite frankly, really smooth. Starting at Canadian dollars 52,550, it's about $4,500 more than the 330i, but you also lose the xDrive all-wheel drive system. But I like that it's not a destroyed 3 Series, and I did enjoy the very high refinement levels it offers, so for that reason, I'll give it an overall very good score of 8.4 out of 10.